This is the best guitar you've never heard of. It's made by CP Thornton. The model is called the HTL2, and I love it so much. We're going to find out who CP Thornton is, what HTL stands for, and why I love this guitar so much. Today, on this episode of Ray Plays Guitar. Let's get into it. Yes, this guitar does sound beautiful. And this is made by CP Thornton, Chuck Thornton. Hi, Chuck. It's almost like he's right here with us. Chuck Thornton. He's my main man. Literally, he's from Sumner, Maine. Chuck Thornton has been building guitars for quite some time. He went to Berklee College of Music, studied music there. After that, he started working with Dana Bourgeois of Bourgeois Guitars. And Dane is an amazing master luthier who makes amazing acoustic guitars. Chuck also worked with John Cooper, learning the art of violin design and construction. And he took all that knowledge and experience and put it into his own guitars. And Chuck makes some exquisite instruments. And then he does these Fender style guitars too. And this is one of them. This is called the HTL2, which stands for Homage to Leo. Leo being Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, who has done so much for the guitar industry and guitar players and guitar in general, as we all know. No, of course I'm kidding about that. The Leo obviously is the Leo from G&L Guitars. It says right there, Guitars by Leo. And of course the Leo of G&L Guitars is Leo Fender. And this is Chuck's homage to Leo Fender. Fender never trademarked or patented or whatever you got to do the shape of their bodies. They only did that to their headstock. So that's why you see a lot of Fender style guitars with the exact bodies that the original Fenders had. But Chuck chose to go with more of a modified G&L style headstock, which I think is great. Yeah, and I got a ding right there. When you're rehearsing at your drummer's house and he's got a very expensive ceiling fan and he tells you like 5 times during that rehearsal, hey Ray, watch your headstock when you take your guitar off. Watch your guitar. Don't want to damage your guitar on that fan. And of course, what he really means is I don't want my fan damaged by your guitar. Understandably, because it was a really nice fan. I was like, yeah, Tommy, no problem. I gotcha. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Yep. Of course, I took it off and I hit the ceiling fan. Amazingly, it wasn't even a scratch on the fan, which was great. But yeah, got this little ding. But that's to be expected. This guitar is 4 years old already. It was delivered to me right in the thick of COVID. Let's see. The date on the spec sheet is 5/4/20. So I probably got it a couple days after that. I mean, of course, I loved receiving the guitar, but I didn't have any gigs to play it out at. I played it at home a lot. And I was telling Chuck this, I'm a rock guy. I like overdrive and distortion. And I play with overdrive and distortion 99% of the time. But when I got this guitar, the clean sound was so beautiful that I played it clean for weeks and weeks and was perfectly happy. Such a gorgeous tone out of here. So let's just take a look at what's going on. Let's go through the spec sheet here, which Chuck hand writes. It's on this, like, I don't know what it's called, parchment paper or something. but it's a nice little touch. Built for Ray Kainz. That's me. Serial number 580. The body is made from Nootka cedar. That's a very uncommon wood, but that's the standard wood that he uses for this model. He does offer the HTL in a traditional alder or swamp ash, I believe. But this one's Nootka cedar. Alaskan cedar, sometimes it's called. It's actually a cypress. It's light and resonant, and it has a very rich sound. It has a little more mid-range presence than traditional Strat woods, ash or alder. And like I said, it is light. This guitar is only 6 pounds, 8 ounces, if you can believe that. That's one of the major things I love about this guitar. It's comfortable. The neck is a torrefied rock maple with the rosewood veneer fingerboard. And so, yeah, that's what gives it its caramelized color, and has a very velvety finish on there too. It's very, very comfortable. It has a fingerboard radius of 10 inches. Of course, a 25.5-inch scale length. The nut width is 1 11/16. The heel width is 2 1/4, which is a little bit thicker than the standard Strat. I think the standard is 3/16 or something like that. But this is a little bit wider, which is great because you have a little bit more real estate on the edges. It's one of my pet peeves of a standard Strat. You don't have much fretboard on the outside of these strings up here. It's got Goto staggered Clouson style tuners here. So they're staggered. So this one's shorter than this one. And that eliminates the need for a string tree. So you get straight string pull without any additional superfluous friction. And then the bridge. The bridge is a SUPER-VEE Blade Runner trem with HIGHWOOD saddles. Now, what's going on there? Take a look at this. This part, the part that attaches to your guitar, that gets screwed down to your guitar, is a separate piece from this. And it's held together by a piece of steel. It's like, I don't know what kind of steel they call it. But it always goes back to its original position. And there's no friction going on. So it eliminates all friction. So when you're bending it down, you're just bending that piece of steel in between the part of the bridge that's screwed down to the body and the part that lifts up. You're just bending this piece of steel that's in the middle there, and that brings it right back to its original position. Always guaranteed. So your tuning stability is very stable. And then the HIGHWOOD saddles, they look like vintage saddles, but if you could see, they curl around the bottom here. But they curl around the bottom, and that's where the that screw peg goes through. So they never stick out the top. Those things never stick out of the top. It's always smooth here up on top, which makes it nice and comfortable. That's a nice little ingenious solution to a problem we've probably all experienced with vintage style Strat bridges. Then in the back, I put in the raw vintage springs. I prefer the raw vintage springs, and when you use the raw vintage springs, you got to use all 5. That's part of the thing of why you would use these. They're lower tension, so you use 5, you get more contact, you get more tone, get more liveliness. That's what I've experienced. So the pickups, we got Harmonic Design Vintage Plus neck in the middle and a Super 90 in the bridge. So yeah, this is a P90 pickup in the size and shape of a Strat single coil. And then these two are called Vintage Plus, and they're all made by Harmonic Design pickups. And I think they sound great. We've been hearing the neck pickup here. I run the middle pickup low. I'll use that for rhythm a lot, if I want to get more of an acoustic-y sound or something. Use that middle pickup, back off the volume a little bit. And then this is what the bridge pickup sounds like. I like having a P90 in the bridge a lot. It gives you a little bit more punch that you often want out of that bridge position in a Strat style guitar. In case you're wondering, here's the signal chain. I'm plugged into my HX effects, running that 4-cable method into my Sir Badger 30. Coming out of this 2x12, which has some vintage Celestions, some rebuilt vintage Celestions in there. I'm miking it up with an Audix D2, which is more known as a drum mic, but it's used a lot on guitar as well. Yeah, this thing just has some great resonance to it. It's very alive. Love this thing. And then the controls are, you got volume and 2 tones. This tone is wired to these 2 pickups, and then that tone is wired to the bridge pickup, which works out great. And then we have Chuck's amazing 2-tone hot rod finish. And I went with black and gold, as inspired by the Trans Am that was in Smokey and the Bandit.
Let me have a Diablo sandwich of Dr. Pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a goddamn hurry.
Yeah, that one. And I don't know how Chuck does it, but the lines are perfect. There's no overspray anywhere. There's not even it's just perfect. It's just beautiful. Another thing he does, he doesn't use back plates. There's no back plate and you don't have the holes. And he paints the cavity in there too, so it looks nicey nice. Because we all know you're going to take that back plate off anyway, right? The fret wire on here is Evo, those Evo frets, 0.104 by 0.047. Evo, that's these gold frets, which goes great with the 2-tone gold and black. Oh, by the way, yeah, this finish is nitrocellulose finish, just like they did back in the day. Yeah, but this has been my main go-to guitar. I love Strats. They're so comfortable, with the belly cut. And, I got more of a belly these days. And the arm contour is just very comfortable. It's very balanced. With this guitar, it's very traditional. I just got a P90 here, so it just gives you a little extra push. But that's enough for me to take this guitar. I can do most gigs with just this guitar. So this is a master-built guitar, built by master builder Chuck Thornton in the Western Mountains of the Northeast. My main man, Chuck Thornton. He's a one-man shop. He does do CNC processing, so you do get the exact tight fits and everything and the precise cuts, but he does everything else himself, by himself. He's just a wonderful human being. This is a life-changing instrument. I don't want to play anything else. This actually happened more than one occasion. Sometimes I'll bring my Fender Aerodyne, which I made a video about that, and I love that guitar. And I'll bring it because it has a full humbucker in there, so I'll bring that as a backup. And sometimes I'll play maybe for this song I'll just play that guitar. And I would just pick it up thinking I was going to go with it and be like, nah, I'd rather play my Thornton. And I just wind up playing this all night because I love it so much. So Chuck, thank you so much for making such a beautiful instrument. If you get the opportunity to try one out, please do. Check out Chuck's website, check out his guitars, order one from him directly, or check out the ones that are available at his different retailers. You won't be disappointed, I guarantee you. Well, that's all about my CP Thornton HTL2 guitar in a nutshell. Hope you found this interesting. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those below. Do you have a CP Thornton guitar? Would love to hear about it. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, but most of all, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.